So I might have fixed it. I am frustrated. I don't know what to tell you, everybody. I think you can probably hear me pretty good now. But, oh my goodness, that was the worst thing in the world. I had 180 people watching a dead screen. And it's the software, man. If you can hear me, you tell me you can hear me. Because I don't know if anybody can hear me. Let me see if I can hear myself on my camera right now. Because I am successfully over it. See if I can hear myself. Oh, look at that. On my camera. Right, I'm on camera and I can hear myself. So, sorry about the technical issues. Hi, John from Henderson. Hello, Albert Alvarado. I had the worst time today. How bad was it? Well, it was so bad that 3 times in a row, I tried to set up my fancy pants software to stream with. Just didn't work. Problem was that this software I use called Studio Labs decided it was going to be really, really bad. And it was bad, man. It was bad. It was creating no audio, then tons of echo. You change things, you try to make it better. You didn't make it any better. You suck, and that's it. Anyways, yes, how are you guys doing today? I am back in the saddle again. We are 17 minutes delayed, so give me 15 million demerits for that, and I apologize for that. So it's Vegas. It's live stream in a row, day number 3. Why not? It's totally cool to do. It's totally fun to do. And we're all stuck here, sheltered in place together. And Champagne Pappy is showing some lewd emoticons. There they are. Bunch of eggplants and peaches. You know what those resemble. Fruits and vegetables. All right, it works on mobile, but not through TV. I don't know about that, Reno. If it was my last one you're looking at, it didn't work anywhere because I failed the test. Anyways, guys, how you doing? What's going on? We are just chilling here in Vegas. It's a Vegas o'clock, but it's really 8:03 p.m. and it's on a Tuesday. I'm glad I made it too, Jen Bootsy says. Saw your uneasiness with the 2 NV troopers. I do not dislike law enforcement, but I don't like that they can come over and say, why are you here? You're supposed to be at home. What am I supposed to tell you? My only way to do anything for myself and my family is to make YouTube videos. They won't understand. And then I was trying to be nice to those guys and be like, hey, you're going to have the shade in your face. They didn't care what I had to say. They were nice enough. They weren't mean. They weren't being bullies. So my old streaming software is supposed to be fancy pants stuff where I even had like Elvis would say, thank you very much. If anybody donated or if a subscription happened, it was going to be the evil monkey from Family Guy. Can't do any of that now because that software is broken beyond all repair. Anyways, thank you so much. Yes, get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Go do it now. So Baller has decided to open Las Vegas. It's open for business, baby. So we can talk about Vegas stuff. We can talk about life stuff. We can talk about whatever stuff. The only thing we're going to avoid is politics and religion and race. And that's what we avoid. Plus no anti-Semitism, no sexism, no hate, please. Alfonso is here. He says, do you think EDC will happen in October? I don't know. Possibly. I don't think so, though. I think everybody's going to get scared and want to have a giant thing. What do they call that thing? A vaccine first. I think a lot of people are afraid of everybody getting hurt. So that's a possibility. I don't know what else to tell you guys. So easy. It's huge. Says I'm the best. Thanks. I appreciate it. And I'm trying to do these live streams because people ask me to do them. They say, we need your leadership. I'm like, I ain't no leader, yo. I'm just a guy on a camera. This live stream is going to last until 9:15 p.m. my time or a little bit later. What do you think this could be by the... No, it's not the end of the world. It just is. You're dead on about Vegas giving deals. We have a visit planned on June 28th. Rio and Flamingo are $10 a night. Link for $20. Harris and Paris for $35. Then again, according to my angry comments, I am fake news. You should have seen some of the angry stuff posted on that video today. They are pretty pathetic. Just go look at the comments. People are telling me that my videos aren't not even informative anymore. What do you mean not informative? Apparently you don't see my live streams where people are worried about a bunch of stuff that are all just Facebook, fakebook rumors. And that's all it is. You get on a rumor on Fakebook, you make up a post, it goes viral, you feel like you've done something good with your life. But then again, anybody can do that kind of stuff. It doesn't take a genius. Do you think the pools will be open eventually? Yes. Texas is about to open up soon. Yes, I heard that the governor was doing something. Long Island's here. None of those rumors will happen. I didn't think they would happen either, but again, I was clickbaiting according to Parrot people, even though I put rumor in it 15 million times. Steven is our Obi-Wan Kenobi. No, man, I might be more like Luke, whiny little Luke. Come on, Uncle Ben. Yeah. Ben Kenobi. He wasn't his uncle. They killed my family. Well, your family probably was like just fed up with you. Ugh, sprained my finger today. Baller left some funny comments. Do you think that they will have Purell everywhere? I'm sure. If not Purell, I don't think they're going to go with Purell brand. It'll just be some kind of generic thing. Liked your idea that instead of resort fees, add a la carte. Yeah, I know. That'll never happen. Anyways, yeah, I know. Well, guess what? No more buffets. I'd like to see that happen, Jake says. But hey, maybe Jake has the crystal ball and he knows. Moving to Texas, Los 702. That's Espanol for the 702. He says, screw the haters. Moving to Texas, baby, I was born to run. Yeah, Bruce, I was talking to call him the boss last night. Casino, please. I don't know what casino you want. Stations, will this end April 30th? I don't know. Life on the Water says, I had an interview with Greyhound, and boy, let me tell you. See, Life on the Water is crushing it, killing it. They had an interview with the Greyhound station. No, I don't mean that. Like, did you interview somebody that works for Greyhound, or did you have an interview to work at Greyhound? Because that would be a scary job to work, and you're tough to do it if you have that. Elizabeth says, I have a lot of energy. Not so much. I have artificial, ridiculous energy that I shouldn't even be using. We're almost through this in British Columbia. So here's the thing, Jimmy James. I was reading in the Calgary Sun today. They said that while Canadians are very lulled into a false sense of, like, this ain't affecting us, apparently Canada, you're in the cold land of Canada, they say that it's going to be a month from now. So, Katie bar the door, to borrow an old hockey term that nobody knows. Be careful up there, Canada, because just because you see it's terrible here doesn't mean it won't get bad there, and I don't want it to get bad there. And, $10 from somebody. Oh, thank you, Rich. Oh, I missed Victor. Thank you, Victor. Thank you, Victor. Victor Crawl. I'm supposed to have a fancy pants thing on my live stream. I don't even know how to test them without it looking like I'm going live. It's very annoying. Streamlabs, you screwed up. You done messed up, yo. And thank you so much, Rick Leggett, unless it's legit and I said it wrong, in which case I suck. We want to book for a week in June, but it concerned we'll have to self-isolate when we get back to Canada. That will be up to the Canadians if they make you self-isolate. Just take an extra 2 weeks off of work and be like, yeah, we need a vacation from our vacation. Yeah, you know how that is. You say, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, so look at that. Life on the Water interviewed management. So Life on the Water must have a bigger YouTube channel or a media connection. That's pretty cool. Congratulations. I don't have any of those. I asked those state troopers, NHP or whatever they were. I'm like, hey, can I interview you guys? They're like, oh, no, sir. We don't know who you are. You have a YouTube channel? And he laughed. He went, that's cute. And I'm like, I don't really have one. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways. Oh, yeah. California opens in 2 weeks, apparently. Hey, bro, glad to see you got it fixed. Yeah, I got my stuff together. Oh, my God, why is there 241 people watching? It makes no sense. We're talking Vegas, everybody. If you haven't done so, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Leave a thumbs up for the video. Thank you so much. Cuomo is more presidential and smarter than Trump. Okay. Yahoo! I live in Tejas. They are talking about opening up, but the graph showing infection is at a steady increase every day. And then they put the little Watson, like the monocle guy. When are the hotels opening, MGM? I don't know. May 15th, maybe? I don't know, guys. I want to be able to tell you, but I don't know. Oh, George ordered my black coffee cup. That is so cool. You guys want to see what that coffee cup looks like? It looks like this. And I can click on it, and apparently I can pin it obnoxiously into my chat. Anyways, when is the hotels opening? I think MGM, I gotta say, I don't know. Joe 2020, apparently we got some Biden folks in here. My job is giving employees a $100 weekly bonus. Pop music. That's pretty cool, man. What do you do for a living, my friend? So anyways, that's a black coffee mug in the chat. It's really annoying that it's there, so I'm going to unpin it. Nobody needs to see that garbage. Nobody wants a black coffee cup. What's your gut tell you on these rumors? Baller, like I said, everything is pretty much not true on those rumors. I don't know what to tell you guys. I already unpinned it, Baller. Listen, I told you it's obnoxious. I unpinned it. LV laid off part-time police employees. Yeah, 100 part-time employees got laid off. There's less people on the streets. I haven't heard of an uptick in crime, to be honest with you. I heard have that I have heard that people are stealing mail across the country, but, you know, whatever. How are you going to cash somebody else's stimulus check? Come on. Ryan and Alexander. Ryan and Alexander needs a shout-out. Champagne Poppy. My shout-outs cost a giant Rockstar energy drink. You can just send it to P.O. Box. I'm Really Tired, Las Vegas, Nevada. Cool channel. Thank you, Tim. Your cup will match my other YouTube mugs. Yeah, Ditch. They all have that white handle. It's so strange, but I appreciate that. I'm going to make a new mug, and I have a design for the mug. It's going to be a coffee mug, and it's going to say, this is my Vegas mug, and then this right here will say coffee, and then I'll have an arrow here for vodka. Whoa, Brett. Jesus, Brett. Steven, FYI, resorts in Mexico are hurting for money. They're offering outrageously low rates. If you book in advance, non-refundable. I just scored a 5-night all-inclusive vacation for 2 for $391.50. That is nuts. So something about Mexico that was in the news, and it was saying, and it was like in Vox or something. So I'm not going to upset people by saying this, and they'll tell me that I can't watch you anymore because you support people that I don't like. Vox was like, Mexico decided not to do coronavirus tests and not do anything that America did. They were like taking their chances on it. And then Mexico was trying to keep their economy open as long as they could because, simply put, most of the Mexican economy is based on services like food services and trades. And it's really hard for them to close up business. It's almost impossible. And so that was Vox, V-O-X. Benjamin saying Fox as in F-O-X. No, that was Vox. That was actually the anti-Fox news. And that's what they were saying. So I figured I can say that news source here without people jumping all over me, which is terrible that I have to think that way, but I do. But anyways, thank you guys so much. So far, you guys are the best part of my day. I look forward to these live streams. Then I screw everything up. What a loser. Isn't Mexico that place that was... no, we're not. Talk. Come on, Waldo. No, nothing bad ever happens in this world. We have to pretend it's unicorns and rainbows and puppy dogs and leprechauns. So this person's ready to go to Vegas. Did you know? Wait, hold on. No. We don't have to. We don't have to delete that message. I'm all ready to go to Vegas. Screw the virus. I like that. Tim Dog, you're good. Guys, moderators, I'm okay with screw the virus. I'm ready to go to Vegas. Why wouldn't I be okay with that? Okay, so yeah, Life on the Water must have a giant, mega awesome YouTube channel that is like second to none. I'm not even over exaggerating because that's pretty cool. So let's just do something here. Let's just go to a private window and then let's see if I can do some fancy pants stuff with Life on the Water. Do you have a YouTube channel, Life on the Water? That sounds good. So what we're gonna do, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent in private Microsoft Edge. So there you go. So then we'll make me a little bit smaller and then we'll make this thing appear. Boom. So let's do this right now. Let's look up Life in the Waters channel because this was fun to do the other day. So we're going to go to youtube.com and then type in Life on the Water and find that person's channel. They might have some amazing investigative stuff, and I think that's very interesting. So I don't see them. Life on the Water, shoot your channel into the chat and we'll click on it and we'll go to it. I want to see that channel. That sounds pretty awesome and pretty fun right there, don't you know? That'd be cool. I have media content. That's cool. See? I don't have any connections to anybody. I'm just a guy with a camera, don't you know? Anyways, guys, back to your chat. Baller says I should use Chrome. I do use Chrome, Baller, but the reason I'm using Microsoft Edge is twofold. Number one, it's based on Chrome. Number two, I can easily get a new private window, and when I go into my software, I can actually find that private window because my broadcast software makes it very confusing to see exactly what window I'm going to show you, and I don't want to accidentally show you my email account, or I don't want to accidentally show you my studio on YouTube, which is my back end. So I just use that one browser for that one thing, and I go private. There you go. Boom. Anyways, where's Amanda? I don't know who Amanda is. Who painted Fantasy Razzle Dazzle Dazzle? I don't know that one. How small can you go? Very small. Microscopic, Ben. 295. Can I get a 300? Probably not. Nobody wants to hear that. Remember Wacky Wafers. So let's talk about Old Vegas. When was the first time you guys came to Las Vegas? You tell me the first time you came to Vegas. The first time I came to Vegas was in 1995, 1996. And I remember I had an uncle. I still have an uncle. He lives in Mexico, actually, on the beach in Tijuana. He is really, really good at speaking Spanish. He was what you would call a polyglot. He speaks multiple languages flawlessly. Anyways, he had a sign business down in Orlando, Florida, and he did neon sign, and he was very good at neon. Back in the 80s and 90s, neon was where it was at. Can I get a thumbs up for neon? I'm going to tell you guys a story if you guys are enjoying it. So look at that. Matthew was here in 2006. 2013 for Norma. 2003s, we got a lot of people in the modern era. Ooh, I got a 1995. Whoa! Jimmy James gave me 50 Canadian loonies. They call that the John A. McDonald. That's not true. He's not on there. He's on the $10 bill or the 5. Thank you, Jimmy James. I can't control the exchange rate. Sorry, Jimmy James, Jimmy James, Jimmy James, Jimmy James, Jimmy James. What part of Canada are you from, Jimmy James? I'll see if I have a story about it, and I'll tell that story to honor you, if you don't mind telling me. Okay, wow, that was so nice. Thank you so much. Oh, we got a 1953 with Jeffrey. Anyways, thank you, Jimmy. Everybody say thank you to Jimmy. If my original software worked properly, it would have been dancing around and you would have had Elvis Presley going, thank you very much. So I can go, thank you very much. I'm Elvis. Thank you. And anyway, so 95 was way different. And remember, I was 14 years old in 1995. And I remember watching on, I don't see where Jimmy James is from. I'm trying to see where Jimmy's from. If he wants to tell me, I can talk about it. I remember watching 60 Minutes, and they had all this media, and they were all talking. I'm trying to see if Jimmy answered where he's from. Oh, man. Oh, he's from Victoria, British Columbia. Okay, so I have a story about BC, but not Victoria specifically. But I can tell people about Victoria if you guys want to hear it. Linda S., probably missed your post. I don't know. I miss a lot of posts with 304 people. Jesus, why is that? And I didn't see, if I see a super chat, I can notice it. And I'm not saying you have to super chat me. I'm always going to try to see it, guys. Sorry if I didn't see it, Linda. But there's a lot of chats going on. There's 300 people chatting. And technically, there's 38 chats a second going on. I know, it's crazy. Anyways, so I came here in 1995, and my uncle, he sold his business down in Florida, and he'd always taken good care of us as his nephews and stuff like that. And he drove an RV in Old Winnebago because he was always good at fixing things, and he drove a bus all the way up to Alberta, Canada, from Orlando, Florida. And Calgary, Alberta, Canada is north of Montana by about 3.5 hours. So then he put us all in the Winnebago RV, and we drove all the way down through Montana, through Idaho, through Utah, into Las Vegas, part of it into Arizona even. And it was just a crazy trip. And I remember seeing Vegas on TV because they were advertising Vegas in TV. In the TV. I sound like an very old person. They's in the TV. Norma, it's in the TV. Anyways, and so they were advertising on 60 Minutes. You would see how the Venetian, and they would have like one of the 60 Minutes people interviewing Sheldon Adelson, and I didn't know who any of these people were at the time. And my mom thought it was a place to go, and my uncle convinced her to take us down, and we spent time. The first hotel I ever stayed at in Vegas was the Boulder something. I can't even remember the name. It's the small hotel that's right beside the Hoover Dam, or right in that area. And I remember that there was a scorpion in the pool, and the guy was like, oh no, scorpions aren't a thing. This is not usual. He was just saying that. It's bull. There are scorpions. We've seen a little baby scorpion, literally the size of your thumbnail, that big here in the house, and I get rid of them because I don't want them to be bigger. But scorpions do exist in Vegas. The brighter, the more dangerous. The bigger ones are just creepy looking. I've never seen a big one except in Southern California. Anyways, 1995. We came back the next year in 1996. We stayed in 1996 at I believe, the Harrah's Hotel. In 95, we rented a car. It was a Ford Taurus. And it was really, really hard to drive that Ford Taurus. They overheat in the desert, and it kept overheating, and my uncle was pretty upset because you can't drive an RV Winnebago around Las Vegas. So that year we also parked at the Circus RV Wild RV Park, and that's gone now. It was a KOA back then, and that's no longer there as far as I know. Phil Ruffin was planning on turning that into something special, but it's never going to happen. And what struck me about Vegas back then was it was just so big, and I was 14, and I remember the amusement park down at the Signature Tower where the MGM Signature sits now. It was basically like a Universal type theme, or as MGM type theme, because MGM owned it. They owned all of the followed the Yellow Brick Road stuff with the Wizard of Oz and everything like that. They had characters. It was pretty interesting. Now, one other thing, so hey, Reaper's here. Guys, there's a lot of people in the chat, so if I miss your chat, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then story about Victoria, British Columbia. I can tell you this, it's the only place in Canada where you can grow palm trees year-round. They're famous for their tulips, and Victoria is also the capital of British Columbia, and it's one of the most west coast cities. Hey, Taurus is here. How you doing? Yes, Taurus, I don't like black widow spiders, and I don't like scorpions because I have the cats. Victor is here. Hi, Victor. How you doing? If you can open your hotel room window and you're staying downtown, how likely are you to pee out the window? I don't know, so Cal, how? That might be on a per-person basis. That's pretty bizarro. Always changing this town. It is, yeah. Why won't the land across the street from the Sahara be developed? That's actually owned right now by Phil Ruffin and the Circus Circus. But as I talked about in my video today, that land may not be long for this world if Phil Ruffin decides that he doesn't want to put the money in to the sanitization and the fees and everything that the Circus Circus has. So here's the thing. The new hotels are going to have to sanitize. They're going to have to invest in different technologies. And if casinos don't want to do that, then guess what? There's going to be nothing for the casinos, the guests to rely on. Do you want to stay at the Circus Circus where you could run your hand on the thing and pick up grime and dust? Or do you want to know that the last people that checked out there, no matter what condition they were in medically, that your room is fine, it's in pristine condition, and you're good to go? I'd prefer to have the hotel that's willing to spend the money on that. From what I hear, Adelson is doing it just perfectly, and the Circus Circus is not doing it all. And if what I hear is correct, that means that Wall Street has not turned Phil Ruffin's money back on. So think twice if you book that Circus Circus room special. It may not be healthy for you to stay there, even if you're willing to come out here and do all the precautions and try to stay away and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Circus Circus has a Breaking Bad theme. You're talking about those things I don't want to mention on camera. Tropicana, 1985. You know what? I wouldn't stay at the Circus Circus if you paid me, he says. Life in the Water says, what's going on with Resorts World? Well, I know that Resorts World topped out, and some people said that there's no construction equipment in front of that. That could be because if it's topped out, they're not building, they're moving cranes away, but they're going to be building the casino floor. But then they've also had a few workers test positive for the terrible virus, so it's a possibility that they're trying to take stock. Would it make sense for them to take 14 days off, put everybody who is a construction worker in a short quarantine? Maybe, possibly. Make sure everything's disinfected. They probably won't tell you because I don't think it's a publicly traded company, but hey, what can I tell you? They are going to implement a microchip. Tim says it's the mark of the beast, everybody. We're going to be microchipped, don't you know? Worst buffet on the Strip was Circus Circus. That's another thing from my 1995 deal. I remember eating the Circus Circus buffet in 1995, and it was very much like what you see in the Vegas Vacation movie where he says, do you want green or do you want pink? And then they just slop it on there. But I was 14. What the heck did I know? I was just happy to get it. And, I remember, I couldn't remember the buffet, but it was in Mesquite, Nevada. And I remember going to Mesquite, Nevada when I was a kid, and it must have been the Casablanca at Mesquite, and I ate the buffet there. We were very impressed. My uncle was like, you're going to get that famous Vegas buffet, and we ate buffets a whole lot. And the buffets were way cheaper back then. What can I tell you? Do you think casinos might think about doing a beach resorts and do all-inclusive as long as you're on the property you're staying at? It's possible. I don't know, all-inclusive. They really like to charge out of the cart here. That's what that is. The room I had at Circus Circus was old but cleaner than the one I had at the Luxor. Well, interesting. I met Wayne Newton this year, and he's an absolute gentleman. Wayne Newton for President 2020. Yes, and when I first heard Dunkasheen, I thought it was a woman singing, but it turns out that Wayne Newton was just very, very high-pitched as a young boy. And he's an interesting guy. He's actually up on another lawsuit for having a wild monkey attack somebody at his house. He does tours of his house. And there was a chimpanzee named Boo. I know monkeys and chimpanzees are the same. Okay. A primate. A primate, damn it. A primate named Boo attacked a lady and claims that the handler didn't do a good job and she got scratched up and messed up and what can I tell you'd up. So that's something that apparently happened. I want to see if I can do something real fast here on here. And I'm going to go to text. I'm going to say the text is going to be the text. It's going to be boom. And then on the text, we're going to put my email so you guys can see that. It's going to be email. If you guys want to email me, info@notleavinglasvegas. This is a good part of the chat, huh? Where I type things into a window, pretend that I'm paying attention to the chat, but I'm really not. The second one's going to be if you guys want to do PayPal to support me. You don't have to send me anything. I'll try to answer all your questions. And this is where they tell me I'm e-begging. That's where you beg for money electronically. Yeah, because I beg for money electronically. My video today, I went down to the Strip. And, wow, look how big that is. That's pretty hilarious. Right across my face it is. And if I can make it any smaller, I'll do just that. Whoop. Oh, look at that. I'm so good. If I was any gooder, I'd be great. Anyways, I was down on the Strip today, and it was very interesting to go down to the Strip. And you see people on the Strip, and you know you see the state troopers, you see people that are just trying to be people, and it's hard for us to be humans anymore because you see somebody and you're immediately afraid they're going to be like running at you, trying to tell you to scram. And I mean, seriously, I went over to the Silverton one day, and I was just going to try to walk through there. All I have is a GoPro. Jeez, Elise, come on, man. All you have is a GoPro and this microphone and a little tripod. And then what does the security do? They resoundingly chase you out. They just get rid of you. They're like, their truck drives up on you like you're trying to go there and do something nefarious. And I know that they're just trying to protect their assets, but you can treat them like human beings. I did a post on my Patreon, Not Leaving Las Vegas Patreon, where I was talking about some of my experiences about how some bully was trying to fight with my wife when the Niners lost the Super Bowl against the Ravens some years ago, and we had to run out of the casino because people, you know, this guy was like 7 feet tall. I'm only 5'9". Like I'm average height, I guess. I'd be short. Some people would say that I'm short, but you know, it's like this guy was like 7 feet tall, and he's like antagonizing my wife who is 4'9". So she's 4'11". 4'11"? I don't want to take her credit away for however tall she is. And this guy, and I'm like, dude, stop it. You know, she just watched her team lose. Yeah, well, I'm a Ravens fan. Well, that's good for you. Why don't you go have a victory drink? I'll buy it for you. Stop bugging her. And before we knew it, I almost got put into a lock hold by a security guard at the Orleans. And then there was, of course, the time that I was like almost kicked off of the property. I was kicked off, and I thought I was 86th out of the Venetian for life. It turns out I wasn't. It is what it is. Is NFL going to cancel the season? No, Waldo. There's too much money involved. The draft will happen on the 23rd. It just will happen, I guess, digitally. One of my subscribers sent me a thing on the Facebooks that said that it was a link to Red Zone. They're going to be doing it for free online. So that's good. Yeah, 330 people. That is pretty cool, and I appreciate everybody being here. Let's see here. What's happening with the two pillars that was supposed to be the famed Ferris wheel across from Mandalay Bay? Well, that was going to be the Skyview project, and Skyview was an interesting project. What we can do is we can dip into our window and we can look at Skyview. I've heard that the chat appears on the left or the right hand of the screen, so we'll put me in the left hand of the screen. And let's see if we can take a look at that. Yeah. All right, so Skyview, Skyvue. So that was going to be a giant observation tower type wheel in Las Vegas. And it was a pretty cool novel idea. Hello. I know. We'll talk about that later, okay? I know, babe. I love you. My wife wanted to show a face mask off, and I said, people are going to start hating me for showing face masks every day. They're going to call me an e-bigger times 10, but she's really proud of them, and so am I. So, nope, this is not the one. Skyview Las Vegas. So here we go. Here we go. So the Skyview project. Here's a rendering of what that project would have looked like. Holy cow. My goodness. Isn't that ridiculous? That is silly looking, honestly. Let's open that in a new tab and see if we can zoom in on that. So that was the Skyview across from the Mandalay Bay. What was interesting about that was the height of that. And what was interesting was that center part right there. It was a giant digital display screen that would have been showing ads that were bigger than the sides of entire buildings. So as you're flying in, you could see an ad for the show at the Mandalay Bay or the MGM Grand or wherever. Look at how big it is in contrast to even the Tropicana. And they would have a plaza at the base of it. And of course, a lot of you guys might not remember. So we're talking about this land right here. And that's the land right there with two giant eye-solar pillars. There's another rendering of it right there to show you. And I guess the Pinterest. I hate Pinterest. I mean, I like Pinterest, but I just don't like it. There's another rendering of it right there, so you can get an idea of what it would have really looked like. And that would have been right there. So, yeah, interesting concept, interesting idea. The Speed roller coaster would have been there. Speed NASCAR roller coaster. If you guys don't know what that is, I don't think I'm talking into this microphone right now, so I'm going to move it over here. NASCAR roller coaster. I know I'm spelling it wrong. That was a ride over at the Sahara, and that would have existed. Speed the Ride, that was what it was called, and that was actually moved there. It was trucked there bit by bit by bit. There's an example of what that looked like right there. So I remember that being like literally broken down, and then one day it all just appeared right at the base of that giant construction project. And you could see they were building channels around that to pour the concrete in the construction. And then just like that, they lose, can't snap my fingers, just like that, they lose the funding. And then at the time, of course, Harrah's or Caesars Entertainment, whatever you want to call it these days, may not ever be El Dorado from what I hear. That one there was constructed. And I remember the construction of that. That was pretty amazing. I know I'm not touching this, so I'll put this down so I can get it out of my way. Oh, Leonard, thank you, Leonard. Leonard Tackix, Leonard Tackix, Leonard Tackix, Leonard Tackix, Leonard Tackix. Say thank you to Leonard for me. I cannot snap my fingers. I don't know. I can do the Spock thing, though. Some people can't do that. All right, so then that was when the high roller was being constructed. And that was pretty amazing, too, because the way the high roller was built, it was built in such a way that everybody thought it was going to have spokes in it. Look at that. That's the way they built it. So they built this thing, they built the spokes all around it, and then bit by bit by bit, they just removed the spokes. And I don't even understand how that thing even exists. It's like a physics puzzle that I can't figure out. It's pretty amazing. I mean, look at the observation wheel from up there. That's them constructing it. Oh my gosh, you got to have some guts. Of course, it's not as high as like the CN Tower or whatever in Toronto, Canada, but it is pretty amazing. Other roller coasters in Las Vegas, of course, you had the Stratosphere. You guys might not remember. Does anybody remember the Stratosphere roller coaster? Loses wheel. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? I think what happened was at one point, it lost a wheel. So that was pretty bad. So let's see, Strat roller coaster loses wheel. I'm pretty sure that did happen. Roller coaster accidents, wind closure, 2 wheels fall off tower roller coaster, Las Vegas Sun. You see how quickly things get buried, and there's no even a picture. This was from 1996. How bizarre is that? We need more roller coasters on the Strip. Give me a thumbs up if you think we need more roller coasters on the Strip. I would appreciate a thumbs up from you guys. But that's what happens in Las Vegas. Things get buried. Nobody knows. The Las Vegas Sun's getting buried. Probably not going to exist in the future. But that is just a little bit of history about a little bit of stuff, about a little bit of things that happened. And less of that, I guess, unless you guys are enjoying that. And we can go back here and we can see the chat is here. And we will restore the chat. Boom! Shakalaka. All right, Circus on a Good Day. Yeah, I remember the coaster and the sudden drop ride as well. Well, they still have that. That's the sky. That's the free fall that they have over there. That's pretty cool. We're going to be on this video right now for 1 hour and 15 minutes total time. We got 34 minutes in. We don't need more roller coasters. Well, Jen, I mean, it's something for everybody, which I guess is really nice. You know what I mean? And some people like them. So, hey, what you know. Have you heard any rumors when Vegas will open back up? As soon as possible, maybe May 15th. Some people might be crazy enough to open up May 1st if the state allows them to do so, I imagine. Binion's Whiskey Liquor Up, great place. Bungee jump. I don't know, man. There was a bungee jump at the Circus. And if you go to the Circus, you'll see a tramway as well. And to this date, there's still the bungee jump tower, and there's still the Circus tram tower. For whatever reason, they still have them up there. It's pretty funny, right? So, crazy thing to watch a few YouTube videos when it was scary, but it was long before I stayed at the Strat. Absolutely. Oh, Champagne Pappy is trying to... She's the e-beggar. I don't even have to do it. Thank you, Champagne Pappy. That's very nice. I'm smiling from ear to ear. I'm honored. Whatever. Hey, look at this. So my wife and I finally got the sewing machine done. I got the page where you could actually buy these things done. I'm going to charge, people are going to say it's too much money, $19.97 plus $4 flat rate shipping done. And that's it right there. Look at Scott. Thank you, Scott. Scott G, Scott G, Scott the G, Scott the G, Scott G. And this is the face mask. And we are going to make the ones that you can put a filter in too. But this is the standard size right here. That's how it looks. And she made this all by herself. And this webcam is horrible. There's no kind of macro close-up, so you probably can't see that. But it does have really nice stitching. It's all done by a machine. She does this all by hand. I think it's really cool. So some people expressed interest. Now you have something to look at if you guys want to. The way I see it, I'm going to have to wear masks at least the next 12 months until the microchips and the vaccines are done. And there's a black one. Hi. You're not talking? All right, I won't pull you on camera because nobody wants to see that. Steve, I read on Google that Rio is not closing. It's a rumor. It's not a rumor. No, it is a rumor. It is a rumor. I posted that in my video today. It is totally a rumor. It's not closing. Unless the company that owns it, and I can't remember the name, they're based out of New York, unless they decide they want to close it, which I really doubt they're going to decide they want to close it. I don't think that's going to happen. Other designs, we have other stuff. Somebody is sending me a box of stuff, a box of materials. I have, cats right here. I have American-style footballs right here. We're ordering some other stuff. The big thing is I had to order elastics off of eBay that come here on the 20th or the 21st, hopefully. Elastic is hard to find in stores, so you need these 1/4-inch elastics on the ears. And I got these at a dollar store, and she industriously clipped them and made them thinner, but, anyways, it is what it is. We're going to have a bunch of different designs, but I can't show anything until it actually gets here, because if somebody orders something that I don't get, because the person that was nice enough to donate, which I'm going to give her channel a shout out later properly, if they come out and they say, oh, I couldn't put it in the box, then I sell it to you, then I'm in big trouble. You know what I mean? 342? That doesn't even make sense. Come on, man. Come on. Let's meet my wife. John, she was on the channel yesterday. She stayed up for 26 hours because she has insomnia. So here's what happened. Sunday night going into Monday, she had somebody that had to meet her at either 11 or 12 on Monday. Don't tell the governor we're meeting people because he will lock us up in prison for breaking the social... We were socially distanced, don't you worry. And then she just rolled it into, working all night. She was doing the hand stitching on these things originally just to get the patterns down. And then before I knew it, I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. When's the last time you slept? She's like, I don't know, 26 hours ago. So she is resting today. Resting. I feel the idea the former Canadian is so knowledgeable at Vegas. I like the idea. Sealy Gary Hound. Seal Greyhound. Seal Greyhound. Where are you from, Seal Greyhound? Yes, the Arnold impression is terrible. And Richard Sues, for the record, creative people tend to stay up at night, I've heard. I'm not saying that you're not creative if you don't stay up at night. We are waiting for the cat show. He's right back here. Okay. Come on, cat. Oh, man. Here he is. All ridiculousness of him. Look at this thing. Hi, everybody. I'm a human being. This is my cat. You would think it's a guy in a cat suit. It's not. It's just ridiculous. Oh, man. Look at this. I'm the most well-behaved cat in the world. Why are you so dirty, bro? What is wrong with you? You got cat litter on your face. Ugh. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. Don't hurt me. Okay, anyways, what am I doing? Pappy is a little slappy. I don't know what that means. Fat feline. Yeah, Pappy. Oh, Slappy fat. That's me. I'm fat. I think I read Einstein worked all night. He did. Einstein also probably had Asperger's high functioning, which my friend said I had, and I got offended. And then I looked it up, and I'm like, holy crow, I'm in like the 90th percentile of this group on all the tests I do. Hopefully the hot streak starts right back up. Yeah, it's a big cat. We're putting him on a diet. He's been a little bit better lately. We want to get him more active because he's older. He's got arthritis in his back legs, according to the vet from a few years ago. And I don't want to give this cat diabetes needles. I mean, that happens to cats. They get diabetic. But he's a good buddy. Is the MGS sphere still a go? No, the MSG sphere. I keep calling it MGS because MSG sounds like a food. It's a food additive. No, that's actually on hold right now. This cat, Jeffrey, weighs 25 pounds. 25 pounds. I think that's about 4,392 kilos. No, I don't know. I think there's 2.2 pounds to a kilo or 1.5. It's two. I don't know my conversions. And Canadians don't use kilograms when they tell you their body weight anyway, so it doesn't matter. The Brits use stones and kilos. The Australians use kilos, and Americans and Canadians use pounds to weigh things. And then they're crazy with their kilometers per hour and their liters per kilometer. My cat is 20. Oh, Elizabeth, that is sweet. Had a black cat that enjoyed Pringles. This cat will eat anything you give to it. That's the problem with this cat. He'll eat ramen noodles, too. Don't eat ramen noodles, okay? It's not good for you. Yes. Instead of elastic, get genuine Saskatchewan seal skin bindings. I'd love to do that, man, but I don't know. I can't get anything from anywhere nowadays. Yeah, he's a porker. I hear that MSG, I think of the place in New York. Yeah, well, you should, Daryl, because it actually stands for that, Madison Square Garden. It's the same group of people. It's the same namesake, and they're trying to build them all around the world. Sorry about his back leg. Nothing wrong with his back leg. He's just weird. My sister's cat attacked me one time. I'm sorry. Thought my cat is big. Steve 315. Jason 132. I don't know who Chatomat is. I'm not winning anything, guys. Let's talk about Vegas stories, though. So I remember I came here in 2004, 2005. I remember the city center being built, but I remember before that it was the creepy Boardwalk Casino. Creepy old Boardwalk. Who remembers the Boardwalk Casino? Grateful Fred is a great cat name. You beat Blackjack, but Blackjack is black and he's in Las Vegas, so I had to name him aptly. So, anyways, thank you, Champagne Pappy. That's very nice of you. But, guys, just so you know, Champagne Pappy is not on the payroll. We have not met, and it is not my wife in the other room texting. But, anyways, I came here in 2004 again, and I ended up coming to Vegas and working back and forth. Between Southern California, and I was living in Mexico on the beach in the time with that same uncle, and I remember that quite well. And you should hear the cat purring. He's very loud and very vocal. And, you know, the boardwalk was a creepy place. It had a heliport. Helicopters would land in the middle of the strip. Of course, you had the parking lot for the jockey club right next to it. And that time was weird in Las Vegas. It was a strange time because it was right in between when corporations started to rule the roost in Vegas, and when you could still get decent values on little gift shops and stuff like that. There's still some of them across from where the city center sits right now. When they started building the city center and just demolishing everything, nobody really understood how big it was until the local media started really talking about it. And then it became evident that it was the biggest project in American history up to that time. Of course, now I think they built one out in New York City on a harbor somewhere that was much bigger. And it was very interesting to see it go up. And I remember getting into the timeshare business around 2006, 2007 or so. And I was working right across there, right in front of the Fat Burger restaurant. This was back again when everything was cheaper in Las Vegas. So you would go into Las Vegas and you would have, you could rent a lease on a place on a grandfathered clause because some dude owned it and they didn't give a damn. They just wanted to rent it out for whatever amount. And I remember every month in the summer, you would watch the sun and it would be like the sun was setting at a different time. It wasn't really. It was because... Thank you so much, Champagne Pappy. That's nice of you. It was because they were building floors. They were pouring one floor a week. So in 10 weeks, you had 10 more floors of the Aria, 10 more floors of the Harmon, which is no longer with us, 10 more floors of something. and I mean, it was just such a massive project. And when it finally did open, we went to the Crystals, and it was crazy. But back in 2008, 2009, there was this debate about whether or not it was too big to fail, because MGM Resorts went into some kind of silly partnership with the Dubai Ports, which is a company from, guess where? Saudi Arabia. Dubai Ports people. And the Dubai Ports people, they were a bit of a controversial group. It turns out they controlled some stuff in America that they might not shouldn't have controlled. And it's all those whole crooked politicians on both sides that were responsible for that. But there's something about a missed loan payment, and I don't know the exact details, and I'll have to research it because I'd like to do a documentary on these things. I just don't have enough time in my day. And anyways, there was on the news that they might lay off everybody. MGM Resorts might close because they don't have operating income, because Wall Street wasn't funding them, because their stocks had bottomed out. So at that point, I think it was Sandoval was our governor at the time, and Sandoval was asking whether or not MGM was too big to fail, because when you have one company that employs 10 or 15% of everybody in the entire state and they're all out of business, they're in trouble. It's Contessa is here. Hi, Contessa. Sean is here. I want to do something real fast here to somebody who's being really nice to me right now in the chat. So we'll just go here, and we'll just go to add moderator. Thank you, Champagne. You're a moderator now. Remember, be nice. Give this man money he needs to feed his family, John. Hey, guys, listen, you guys are very kind. I do these live streams to connect with people. I love connecting with my wife. I love connecting with friends and stuff like that. But, you get to the point where, I don't know. They're great, but, there's a bunch of other people out there that you can't see in real life. You used to be able to go into a bank line and say, how about this weather? And now you can't even do that because you're locked into your car at a teller machine or a drive-thru. And I love the drive-thru at the banks, don't get me wrong. The tubes, I just want to put random things in the tubes. I'll put like a potato in there, put like a grate, and when they, then I'll French fries. I'll be like, hey, enjoy your French fries. There'll be a bunch of potatoes flying. If you don't know what drive-thru tellers are, some banks don't have them. It's the old pneumatic tubes. So you pull up, there's literally a box right here, and you open up the window, you put your withdrawal slip or your deposit slip and your money in the tube, you press the thing, you press the button, and then the tube goes shoop, and it goes through a series of tubes, and it ends up in the bank. So you could put a potato in there. I figured you put like a grating knife, and then when you put it in there, you press the button, it'll go, and it'll slice the potatoes and shoot over there. That's how they make the potatoes at McCain. Yeah, McCain is a big company, and it's a Canadian company, and they make potatoes that way. They shoot potatoes through a big hose with a steel grate with water, and they just come out perfectly sized. And now you know the story of potatoes. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm out. Mic drop. Boom. I have a mic, but I don't want to drop it because it's a nice mic when I can get the damn thing to work. Yeah, there's a lot of really good Vegas movies. I'm interested who your favorite Vegas movie is. The mayor of Las Vegas is Carolyn Goodman of the Goodman clan. They also have a son and a daughter. So the Goodmans could be in power for many, many years to come. I don't know if that's going to be, because somebody is actually going to challenge her for the mayoralship, which will be interesting to see if that happens. It really will. That'll be very interesting. Carolyn Goodman, I don't know if you think she's doing a good job. I don't know what you think of Oscar Goodman. He said a lot of controversial, ridiculous, bombastic stuff, of course. Can you please give out a shout out to Sonia in Glendora, California? Well, I almost shouted out Sonia in Glendale. Hello, Sonia in Glendora, California. How you doing today? My name is Steven. I'm a random guy on the internet saying your name, but your friend who really cares about you a whole lot, Brian Mendoza, said that I should shout you out. So I hope you're doing good, keeping safe, wearing your face mask. I'll be wearing my face mask. I got so many face masks to wear now, and I got new materials. Not touching your face, eating your vegetables, saying your prayers, using your hand lotion, your antibacterial lotion, and all that stuff. We'll be swimming in that stuff before we know it. By the way, I just want to say a thank you to people who were nice enough to super chat me. I had Scott G for $10, that's crazy. Leonard Takex for $2, that's nuts. Jimmy James for $50 Canadian, that's wild. Brett Boyle for $10, that's craziness. Rich Leggett, who's new around here, I think, for $10, I'm honored. And Victor Crawl for $2. And I really thank you guys for that, because Not everybody's working right now, and I'm doing these every night, not for money, but just to connect. But the fact that people are nice enough to do that is something special, so thank you guys so much. So please check your email when you get a chance. I've been checking my email. I don't know the name that you're emailing me from, which is fine. Oh my goodness gracious me. Texas has an Indian casino. Hi from Tampa Bay, Eric says. The Goodmans are the Costco Business Center on Emma. The Goodmans are at this. Really? That's cool. The Carolyn was supposed to be, and she has been for the last several years, the main speaker at the My Vegas Top 100 Women of Power and Influence. But she wasn't there this year because it got canceled or moved, or God knows what's going on with my magazine and my job. We're going to try to sell some digital ads next week. We'll see how that goes. Kevin says, I'm awesome. It's really funny you say that, Kevin, because if you go look at some of the comments on my video today, I'm apparently subhuman. Oh, Taurus 702 on my Patreon in my videos. Thank you, Taurus. Taurus, who had the funniest, most unfortunate name in my Patreon at first. It was this, and it was hilarious. I put it in the chat so I didn't have to say that because I will giggle like a 13-year-old boy who just watched the Hangover movie. That was his name originally, and I thought that was good. So I'll shout out his original name that he gave me on the Patreon too. Can he get rid of those people that are trying to hand you cards on the strip, Jake? I don't know, man. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of advertising. I mean, those guys are pretty unobtrusive. What I don't like are the guys that are aggressively hounding people that don't speak English, trying to pass them on CDs. Look, man, you can definitely promote yourself, but just they just aggressively try really hard to target Asian people that don't speak English. Like, you can tell. Okay, here's the deal, man. You can tell when somebody's not from around America. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can tell when somebody's not from America. You can tell when they're from an English-speaking country. Ugh, too much caffeine, Campbell. You can tell when they're from an English-speaking country, not from here, but then you can double whammy, triple whammy tell when they're from a non-English-speaking country with very different cultural norms, and they're not from around here. And I just Googled the craziest thing, MGM to sell properties. You can Google that all you want. I don't know what you'll find because I look for it. And until it's real news, I try not to report it. Life on the Water sounds like a very interesting investigative news report channel. Maybe you should go check that channel out. Anyways, they target those folks. They go up to them. They aggressively hand them CDs. And they're like literally just handing them little discs and sleeves. And they're like, $10. And these people feel completely like overwhelmed. And they just hand them $10. And those guys are really bad a lot of the time. Then you got the water sellers, of course, the people who are taking pics for tips. The strip clubs are closed, William. They are not operating. Will they open back up? I'm sure they will. John says, I need a drink. No, I just need to try to do these chats better. I don't think I'm doing a very good job tonight ever. Waldo McFly asked me the best Vegas movie. It's Back to the Future 2. And Waldo McFly, I'm paying homage to your name right now. Does anybody know why I picked Back to the Future 2 as my favorite Vegas movie? What's the Vegas connection in Back to the Future 2? Somebody tell me the Vegas connection in Back to the Future 2. If you can't figure it out in a few minutes, I'll tell you what the connection is. Stephen, can you private email me your P.O. box so I can send you that hand sanitizer? That is very kind of you, Taurus. I can do that. I'll do that on Patreon. Just so you know, my P.O. box is in the comments or the description of every single video that I post that's not one of these live streams. Maybe it should be in the live stream. Oh, look at this. I got a bunch of smart fellows and fellas and girls and guys. Yes, if you watch Back to the Future Part 2 and you watch Biff's Casino and Back to the Future Part 2, you will see the Plaza Hotel strategically made to look like that. And why is my window capture not coming up? Let's see if I can make it come up. Okay, so we're going to go here. New tab, personal. There we are, everybody. So we're going to go here and we're going to type in Back to the Future 2 Biff's. Back to the Future 2 Biff's Casino. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, We got Biff Tannen's Casino in Back to the Future 2. And there it is, my friends. There is the Plaza Hotel as Back to the Future 2. That's some guy holding up a photo from the movie. That's awesome. That's a Twitter account. You probably want to watch that account. There's the actual thing. So there's your Back to the Future 2 reference. Ain't that cool? I think that's pretty darn cool, my friends. I really do. Anyways, we're going to go back here and see if I can... Oh, look at that. I can't even make my window any bigger. Oh, I might have done a dumb thing. No, I didn't. All right, back to life. Back to reality. All right, guys. All right, yeah, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Ah, boy. Plaza. Louis Theroux, Gambling in Vegas, was a very good Vegas documentary. I'd have to watch that one. Governor Sisolak said this yesterday that our state has the unique challenge of enacting the highest safety standards possible because of the high level of tourism, both domestic and foreign. Yeah, yes. And in other news, water is wet and gravity can make you fall really hard and hit the ground. Thank you, Steve Sisolak, for pointing out the obvious. Isn't it a shame that we don't have a more diversified economy here in Las Vegas? That's what I think. And this is true. Trump does not have a hotel, does not have a casino. He has a beautiful full services resort. Now, just because I said Trump has a beautiful property in Las Vegas does not give you guys license to accuse me of anything. Look it up. He has one of the nicer properties in town here. It's just the way it is. And he doesn't even do anything with it. It's actually mostly Phil Ruffin that helped build that place because Phil Ruffin is a hotelier and they just have a really nice property. And the Hilton actually owns property at that. They have timeshares on the top levels. Pretty interesting, right? I played poker with the man who built Plaza. Do you know who that is? No, I don't know who the man who built the Plaza is. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Angelo does picks for tips in their driveway. That's pretty funny. One time I was in Vegas and there was a bunch of DeLoreans in front of it celebrating the movie. It's funny Red Pill Gary says that. I was there once and I actually had, let's see if I can pull it up before I go to the screen right here. I remember one day I was down on Fremont Street for the Knight Rider experience. And that was pretty cool. Let's see if I can bring up my website. I think I can show you guys some of my photos. Do you guys want to see some of my photos from back in the day when I wanted to be a photographer? I wanted to be practically everything. Let me see if I can find these old photos for you guys to show them to you here. And if I can find them, that would be great. And if I can't, then at least I tried. Older posts, the Luxor, my cat, a bunch of stuff that doesn't even matter, Caesar's Palace. I got a lot of pictures on here, but I can't find my Knight Rider photos. So forget it. You don't get to see anything. Keep America great again, John Monk says. What's the Binion story? Many company, I don't know, Jake, if you're asking me Benny Binion's or Ted Binion's story, he has a lot of stories. One story about him was that he once shaved every single hair off of his body so he wouldn't have to do a drug test with a hair follicle test by the State Gaming Commission. That's very strange. What was he hiding, huh? Many companies are looking to Nevada, but the cost of putting all of the services needed is what some are putting them off. Okay. Oh, it's so many comments, guys. Thank you for watching. I stayed at the Trump. It's a beautiful hotel, but difficult to get a cab from their lobby. You can always walk over to the fashion show, but it's always hot. That's the problem. Daryl stayed at the El Cortez in January. Cool hotel. Very nice. Okay. Emily, I don't know the question. I missed it. So lots of chats going on. Wasn't the Plaza the Union Plaza before that? It may have been. Possibly because the train ran behind it. I don't know. Steven, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen in Las Vegas? I bet you have some stories. I once saw a man that, see, I can't say certain things on YouTube because it's not about the money. It's not about the revenue. It's about them like hitting my channel with a content regulation strike. I had somebody on Instagram tear into me, say that I was lying about that. But there's certain things that they just don't want you talking about because the AI thinks you're promoting violence and I'm not. I mean, I've seen guys with like the police all surrounding them on the strip at the Planet Hollywood. Because I could talk freely about this on the Patreon, so I do those videos that I pay money to be on Vimeo for, so I don't have to put them on YouTube. We've seen a number of people have their phones and purses stolen at the Miracle Mile shops. They're just sitting at the pompous Brazilian steakhouse, or they're sitting there. We're going to talk until 1 hour, 20 minutes, guys, so we have 21 minutes left. They run out, they snatch and grab, and they just shoot. It's pretty bad. Mark says Mr. Uber is great. Yeah, Mr. Uber is usually in my streams. He's not here today. I don't think there'll be a new Star Trek experience. It's just the real estate, and the Star Trek is a fading memory, although Star Trek is a great show, and they have the new thing on CBS with the Picard series. I haven't watched it because I don't pay for CBS All Access. Vegas had a 30-day shutdown. It's coming to the end soon. We'll see, Waldo, if that's the case. Hopefully that is. Jackie Gons Plaza, okay. The Imperial Palace, yep. An earlier time, Vegas was more of a small-town place. People were closer, but the boom, it grew so fast and all the atmosphere is buried. That could be true to a certain extent, Jeffrey. I agree with you there. Any chance? Okay, so the Yoda soda, you must be a Star Wars fan with the Yoda soda. Like I said, I don't think there's plans for that. It was something that back in the day when the Next Generation was at its peak, and then we had all the different shows like Voyager after that, it made sense. Maybe not so much now. Saw some shows played at the Union Plaza, 87 and 90. Stayed at the Golden Gate. They remodeled the room. I remember driving down Fremont Street. So if you guys want to go see a Vegas thing, you can go watch, I think it's Where the Streets Have No Name. I can't remember the exact video. There's a YouTube video shot in Vegas, and the name, let's see which one. The U2 video that was shot in Las Vegas, not the Us video. But yeah, it says still haven't found what I'm looking for. So U2 shot that on Fremont Street in Las Vegas, and it says still haven't found what I'm looking for. Of course, there's a lot of good things like here. I'm not even a Katy Perry fan, but I like, I don't dislike Katy Perry. I like her on American Idol. And but anyways, her Waking Up in Vegas was a great music video. My friend Johnny Thompson actually appears in the music video. He's an Elvis impersonator. He appears in that video. He's in Carrie Underwood's music video as well. So that was pretty good. Okay, Mark. I thought Mark is here. He is Mr. Uber. I get confused, Mark, easily. Trust me, man. Lack of sleep, lots of caffeine, and just banging my head against the wall. Yes, okay. You're doing a great stream, Steve. Thank you, Champagne Pappy. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. Henry is here. He remembers the Frontier. Yep. And, Space Lord was shot in the Fremont area. Still haven't, yes, 1987. That was before the Fremont Street experience existed as it stands right now. Cancel my Vegas trip for May 10th. I'll be back, but I guess Vegas won't be open for at least a couple of months. Ray, I wouldn't bet on that, but, you're probably okay to come back May, June, July, August, September. How long have my wife and I been married? 2004. 14. 61 years, or wait, 16 years. But sometimes I think she thinks it's 61 years, and sometimes she thinks it's 5 years. You know how marriage is. But no, it's been 16 years, guys. I'm married 16 years. Her birthday is actually in 2 days. Yep. What am I going to do for 2 days? I have no idea what I'm going to do. But anyways, it's tough because you want to do everything for somebody. We're supposed to go to Hell's Kitchen. That ain't happening. I guess I could tell her the big surprise. I wanted to take you to Hell's Kitchen for your birthday. Probably shouldn't have said that her birthday is in 2 days either. That was a bad idea. Have you done Fear for the Walking Dead experience? No, I've not. Stayed at the Maxim in 90 on Flamingo near Koval. Yeah, now it's just called the Westin. I remember the Maxim. They made the casino into just like a floor space for dining and stuff like that. They took the casino out of the Maxim. Slots of Fun is still there, Don, but they ripped out a bunch of the table games out front and they replaced it with like a bowling alley, which is really weird. Garth Brooks is the first ever concert at Raiders Stadium. That is true. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to shoot to get there in the fall, traveling from Canada. What part of Canada? The ice-cold country to the north. I'm doing a Jim Carrey riff. I'm from Canada too, Ray, so don't get offended. What part of Canada are you from, my brother? Can you get good takeout? So many texts. Jesus, I'm sorry, guys. I try to read all the texts, but I go and they get really fast on me. I guess that's why the super chats exist. Have you ever been to the Mob Museum? Lady, I was supposed to go, then it got shut down. Have you been to the Zombie Apocalypse store here in Vegas? It's cool. Shot a vid there. Is it still open, Taurus, the Zombie Apocalypse store? Because last time I was there, they were selling like Bitcoin stuff and they were doing lawn care. But I remember that place. I went in there once. I was working with a guy that had a knife throwing range here in town, and we were advertising his knife throwing stuff. It was a very cool place. I liked that. It was very well themed. Let's see here. I'm from Humboldt, Saskatchewan. Oh man, you guys are from where that poor team. That was the Humboldt team that was in that tragic crash, wasn't it? So people from Saskatchewan are really nice. I would say that if you had to compare Saskatchewan to any part of the United States, it's very much like Nebraska or Iowa. It's a land of living skies. Saskatchewan is so flat in spots that they had to make the roads up and down and left and right and curvy because you'll have driving what they call that, driving hypnosis, where you just drive and it's the same thing all the way across. John asked if my wife is Canadian. No, she's an American that was born in the Philippines. Yeah, so I'm north of Winnipeg, he says. Are you in Churchill where the polar bears walk out in the streets? Winnipeg is a nice place. It's a good blue-collar, working-class type town. There's more Filipinos in Winnipeg than all of Canada. Because they imported nurses from the Philippines first. And also, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada sells more Slurpee drinks at the 7-Elevens than any other part of North America. That is a fact. You can look it up. I dare you to tell me it's not true. And if you look it up, you have too much time on your hands like all of us. I miss Vegas, been there for 12 years. Park MGM wasn't doing good before it was Monte Carlo. Yeah, Monte Carlo was not a themed hotel. Did you ever get my government check? I got nothing. I'm waiting on them to launch that site where I can track down my monies. Be like, where's my money, yo? Whatever. Pawn Stars, ever been there? Yes, Jake. We went there before it was super popular. And it was legitimately a pawn shop. I have a story that I can't say on YouTube because it's about theft and stealing and boosting from stores and stuff. But one guy that I know, and I'll talk about it on that Patreon eventually, he was saying that... he was like, I hate those guys. He was very, very East Coast. So he's like, I hate those guys from the Pawn Stars. I'm like, what's wrong? Bobby the Booster. I told a story about Bobby the Booster on my channel once before. He's like, that guy, the old man, he's such a phony. I saw him on his show talking to Chumley about how he can't buy stolen stuff. And he told me the story about what he used to sell to the old man. I'm like, are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Crazy. The Pinball Museum Red Pill has been closed. The building's no longer there. They were trying to move it to the stripper downtown. Western Nebraska isn't flat. See, I learned something today about Nebraska. We are Slurpee champions like 15 years straight. Go Winnipeg. I got a lot of people from the Peg here. By the way, in Winnipeg, the mosquitoes are as big as your head. That's what I've heard. Do you remember the old show Outside Treasure Island? Of course, I've seen it a number of times. What are you doing, Blackjack? Go away. I'm not feeding you. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, originally living in Cowtown, Arlene says. Well, Arlene, if you're ever near 17th Ave and the Deerfoot 17 building, that's where I grew up in those stomping grounds. And I used to hang out at the Marlboro Mall all the time. I didn't get into trouble, though, because I was kind of a loner. I actually was never good with people. I'm not very good at socializing. The shop you visit isn't the one on the show. It's a TV set. Emily... Well, I mean, they do film stuff there. So Emily is right. It's become like a museum. But you could still pawn there. It's still legitimately a pawn shop. It's an actual pawn business. It's open right now because pawn businesses are essential out here. So you can go there. Do Canadians really say A at the end of a sentence? Jeffrey asks, well... There's a very good YouTube channel called JJ McCullough. You should probably go watch him. He talks about that. I am super congested right now. I think it's because of the cat. And he talks about that. Canadians do something called Canadian raising, where sometimes at the end of their sentences, they go up a little bit in some of their words and their way they say certain words. They come up like that, you know? And that's fine. But some of them say A, but Scottish people say A, and some of them say I. You know, Scottish people, they say I. That's not Scottish. That's like from Liverpool. I was talking like a Beatle. No, but Scottish people is like Shrek, you know. Hey, aye, donkey. Come here, donkey. What's wrong with you? Look at his head. You guys remember the movie? It looks like a grapefruit on a toothpick. Does anybody remember the movie that I'm quoting with the Scottish accent? Shout out the movie if you know the movie right there. Not too bad, eh? Deerfoot 17 has changed name now. Oh, Jimmy, part of my childhood is gone, but Jimmy does the Chinese food restaurant at the base of that building, or it was around there. My grandparents used to live in the condos right in Albert Park, and we used to play pond hockey pond hockey on those little ice rinks over there. Maybe one day, if I really run out of things to do, I'll show you my hometown on Google Earth. Anyways, it was Shrek. No, it's not Shrek, my man. Well, the donkey is Shrek, but not the part where he goes, "Head, move! Look at his head. It's like a watermelon. I can't do the accent. It's like a watermelon on a toothpick." Yes. How has things changed? Tina, I love you, Tina, but I don't talk about that here on the channel. There's other YouTubers that'll talk about that all day long. That's just not my bag, baby, to quote another movie by that same actor. Let's see what we got here. Oh, no, yeah, well, 88, so listen, here's the deal. 88 Laren said Fat Bastard. That wasn't Fat Bastard. That was a precursor to Fat Bastard. Guys, Del Lamb is going on a moderating thing. Fat Bastard, he's referring to the Austin Powers character, my friend Del, so don't moderate that anymore. Sorry about that, guys. Mike Myers, yes, it was from So I Married an Axe Murderer. It's where he played, Mike Myers played himself, and he played his father. And it was freaking awesome. You gotta watch the clip. You gotta watch the clip on YouTube of him talking about the conspiracy and how Colonel Sanders puts addictive chemicals in his chicken. Colonel Sanders puts addictive chemicals in his chicken. It's so good. Yes, Jen Bootsy, you win. Boom. I have a show. I guess that's my channel on YouTube. Disney's Darby O'Grill and Little People. Sean Connery sings. Yeah, Sean Connery. Sir Sean Connery to you. Any insight on how the V will affect the retail part of the strip of Fremont? I don't know. It's in the economy. James Carville, he's a famous strategist for the Bill Clinton campaign. And one time somebody asked him, while Bill Clinton was going through his impeachment proceedings, if he would ever be reelected. And James Carville was like the guy that helped Clinton get elected. And he said something to the effect of, "It's the economy, dummy." James Carville was very much... I think it's just very southern. I don't know what state he's from. James Carville said, "It's the economy, dummy," or "stupid," or something like that. So it is all about the economy when it comes down to stuff like that. What's going to happen in Vegas? We're going to open up, and we're going to have a big old party, and it'll be fun. Yes, you did, Jen. You win. You win. I don't have anything for you, but hey. Best band from Canada is Rush. Yeah, that chicken Rush can really sing good. That's not my joke. Geddy Lee is not a girl, but... still funny. And he sang on South Park soundtrack. He actually did the South Park soundtrack. It was pretty good. But I don't think that's the best band from Canada. I'm a Tragically Hip fan, but that's because they talk about history and Canadian stuff. Hey, guess what? We got 9 minutes and 24 seconds left. Skinny Puppy. There's a band I haven't heard of in a million years. Other bands from Canada are like 5440, Our Lady Peace. What's that one that did Tweeter and the Monkey Man, the remake? The Headstones. The Headstones are good. The Tea Party is good. There's a lot of Canadian bands, but this is not leaving Las Vegas. Not leaving Canada. Who wants to hear about that junk? Nobody. That's who. Hey, let's look at who else is live on YouTube so you guys can go watch them instead of me. We have Life in Las Vegas. I bet you he's probably live. Let's see what he's talking about right now. No, he's not live. Oh, somebody told me he was live. You guys lied to me. Just kidding. Oh, he was actually streamed 24 minutes ago. He got 564 views on his live stream. That's good. Who else has been live recently? Say hi to Matthew, but see, he doesn't keep his live. He's a smart marketer, that man. And he's a super nice guy, by the way. If you guys gotta go watch channels, go watch Life in Las Vegas, because he talks about different stuff. And then he does that Hunter S. Thompson character, which I wouldn't even approach to do. And go watch Say Hi to Matthew. And if you guys want to learn a bunch of stuff about Vegas, Jacob's got really good old content from 3 years ago. I'm not saying his new content's not good, but his old stuff was really good on, like, what's water cost, what's electricity cost. Just good stuff, man. Good stuff. Why do I have grit, Jason Nelson? Tell me why. Tell me why. Oh, man. Who's Ghost Politics? I don't know who that is. Is that a Vegas YouTuber? That's terrible. So we're doing it live. Yeah, everybody knows that. It's Bill O'Reilly on Inside Edition, and he's trying to read a script. And he's trying to read the script, so he's got the script in front of him, and he's like, and President Reagan dyed his hair for the 9th time, and he keeps screwing it up, and he gets mad, and because there's some kind of audio like signal in his ear, and he gets mad, he slams it down, he goes, we're doing it live, we're doing it live! And it was just showing emotion that a guy who... So here's the thing about... Yeah, Wonder Hussy is apparently the best YouTuber in the world, everybody tells me. So you guys should go watch Wonder Hussy if she's doing a live. I can only go by what you guys tell me. I don't know. I don't watch... The thing is about watching other Vegas YouTube channels, if I watch other Vegas YouTube channels and then I do what they do, then you guys accuse me of plagiarism and then I'm nothing but an idiot. And I don't want to do that. So I try to just keep my focus like the Clydesdales. They put the blinders on them because if they see another horse, they'll veer off to where that is. And I don't want to do that. Okay. So anyways, what I was saying is the thing about O'Reilly, and I listened to an interview, and not because he's conservative or anything, but because the interview was focused on what he did to build himself up there. And so it was like, how did you build yourself? And somebody was talking about him and said what he did was he would look at the biggest stories from the morning news, which he knew that the other news channels wouldn't cover, and he would cover all that. And so I started looking at the news on the channel, and I would try to find the news when I woke up sooner than anybody else, and I would make a video really fast, and because my job would allow for it, and then I would post it up as fast as I possibly could. And hopefully I would scoop people, but I don't know about that. And, you know, anyways, it was just something that I tried to do because O'Reilly was good at that stuff too. Somebody just texted me the review journal. They might be in the chat. It was Daryl. I don't know why he texted me that. But my point was that if you give people something good that nobody else is giving them, then maybe it works for them and you can serve them. And that's what we have to do on YouTube. We have to serve people on YouTube. And if you serve people and you help people out, then you'll get anything you want in life. That's an old thing by a guy named Zig Ziglar. You guys might not know who Zig Ziglar was, but he was from, I believe, Texas, and he was one of the first motivational speakers, but he also did sales training. And so Zig Ziglar said, if I can help enough people get what I want and they want in life, then maybe I can get anything I want in life, or something to that effect. And I really, really listened to that and thought, that's cool, you know? So I spent a lot of my life screwing everything up. Here you go. Confessions time in the last 4 minutes of the video. I'll turn it around to positive. I was always looking for an angle. I was always trying to play a Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. Just follow me here. Always trying to move people around to benefit me. Always trying to try to play one people off of each other. And then at some point it became evident to me that that wasn't working for me. So I started trying to learn about the way my mind worked, and I learned a few things. Number one, the Bible never says that money is the root of all evil. The Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. So you should love people, serve people. You know, you should always use money to help people. And that also, if you help people out and service them and give them a good thing, maybe you'll get something back good in return. What can I do? What can I say? Anyways, thank you to everybody. I had Taurus, who was nice enough to throw in $10. Scott G, who was $9.99. Leonard Takex, who was $1.99. Jimmy James, who gave me $50 Canadian, which is incredibly tough to make because Canada is getting a bad hit on the economy. Brett Boyle, $10. Rich Leggett for $10. And Victor Kral for $20. And I really appreciate that. And thank you guys so much to the moderators. We got Connie in here. We got Mark in here. Red Pill Gary. Razor Ramen on my... So we got people that are here also. I don't know that Mr. Uber... I think Mr. Uber's on the Patreon. Connie is on the Patreon. Red Pill Gary, I don't know if you have a different name there. Razor Ramen's on the Patreon. Sean, you're awesome. Thank you, Sean. You guys are great. He's a moderator here. Taurus702 is over there on the Patreon. He's a moderator. Johnny Yuma's on the moderator team. Who else do I got in the moderator team? Mark, Mr. Uber, of course. I'm looking for my moderators. People didn't show up. Whoa, look at that. Mr. Classic TV 1980. Punky Power. Is that a Punky Brewster reference? You know, Salil Moon Fry. And if you ever watch Punky Brewster and then go watch American Dad, they go to Cirque du Soleil Moon Fry. It's pretty funny. They make fun of Cirque du Soleil. Thank you, Punky Power. Mr. Classic TV 1980, Mr. Classic TV 1980, Mr. Classic TV 1980, Mr. Classic TV 1980, Mr. Classic TV 1980. I have to say it 5 times. There is a virtual thing you can go on and look at TV from different eras, and the way it works is that there's a TV channel and you press the buttons. Let me see here. Virtual old TV. Let's see if I can find it right here. It's called my80stv.com. You guys absolutely have to see this thing. I'm going to show it to you before we leave, okay? So if you guys are bored at home, I want to show you something really, really cool that you guys can do. Here's this, okay? Check this out. Look at this. This is so cool. All right, so this is an old TV. Now, when you load the site, it loads up like this, and you can go to different types of movies that you want to watch. You can actually turn the power on the TV. Oops. That was a bad thing. It's probably got a bad echo, but you guys can see my point, right? I'm going to mute this site, and you guys can see you can change the channel on the TV. You can look at old commercials from the 1980s. I don't know if they have a My 90s TV too, but isn't that the coolest thing? That is just so cool, right? Old TV from the 80s, even though that was in widescreen, and I'm pretty sure that TV wasn't in widescreen back in the 80s. But I just thought you guys would find that cool. Oh, this is what I wasn't going to show you. These are some of my old photos, but nobody wants to see those, right? So these are some old photos I did. That's my old black cat. That's the Luxor. This is stuff like that. I did some old photos, but nobody wants to see that stuff. So we're going to cover that up. If you guys want to see that stuff, I don't know, maybe someday you want to see that stuff. But who cares about my old photography? Ain't nobody got no time for that. All right, guys, so I'm getting to the end of the live stream time right now. I'm going to get my chat window back up because I lost it. Here we are. All right, there we go. All right, guys, so my live stream is back. We're going to end this video off here right now. You guys are great. Where's the beef? I got you. We're going to talk to you guys tomorrow at 7:45. I'll figure out the fancy pants stuff that we did before. Thank you to everybody who did something nice for me today. Either you moderated, you liked this video, you shared this video. Can I get 20 more likes before I leave? Is that even possible? If you can like this video before I go, then I'll end it with a 3, 2, 1 click. So I got some likes. I got a bad delay on the camera. Can I get a click? Can I get a like? Can I get a like? Give me a like, please. I want a night. Give me a night, give me a click, give me a like, give me a like. Pop the likes up. I got to have Flavor Flav in the house screaming, oh yeah, boy, give him a light. Give him a like. I can't talk. All right, guys. Y'all be good out there. Oh, I need one more like to get to 200. Come on. Can I get one more? That would be... Oh! All right, guys. I got to go. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Pacific Standard Time. Somebody felt the need to correct me. I don't know which one it is, but it's 7:45 my time, whatever time that is you. And I'll do a video in the morning, and you guys have a good time. 3, 2, 1, and God bless y'all. Click.